What's up guys, I'm Koda Kammer and I have a little Q&A for you today. I just hit 500 subs here on YouTube. Super happy about that. Can't thank you enough for the support. I literally remember a few months ago when I had 10 subscribers. So I asked you guys to ask me questions for a Q&A to celebrate 500 subscribers on my Instagram. I probably got like over 150 questions, which is awesome. So if you're not already following me over there on Instagram, I'm almost at 10K. So make sure you're doing that, and you can ask me questions for the next Q&A that I'm gonna do, which is probably gonna be at like 1K subs here on YouTube. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into those questions. So I'll put all the questions up on the screen, but the first person asked, can you see yourself powerlifting? And I honestly just love bodybuilding and chasing aesthetics, so I don't think I'll ever do anything powerlifting related, like train for powerlifting or like enter any powerlifting competitions. And I just don't think like really my genetics are made for that. I think if I trained hard enough, I probably could get my numbers up, but as of now, that's just not really the goal. But I would definitely want to hit 315 on bench. I'm pretty close to getting there, and I really want to be able to squat 405 and deadlift probably like 500, maybe a little bit over 500. So eventually, we'll see. All right, since I'm lean bulking, should I go intense on every workout session? All right, so I'm a big fan of going as hard as you can every workout, and that doesn't mean doing every single set to failure, but definitely incorporating drop sets, supersets, and training your ass off, and like definitely adding a lot of sets into failure, because that's when I have seen, from personal experience, the most muscle growth, training to failure. And I know some people might be worried about overtraining, but I haven't really run into that, and especially when I just take a rest day, like whenever I need to. I train 6 days a week right now, so I don't have like a scheduled rest day, but just when I feel tired or I'm busy that day, I'll just take a rest day or take a day off. And so yeah, to get back to the question, I definitely think that no matter if you're bulking, you're cutting, honestly if you're cutting especially, because you want to stay as close as your prior numbers and your prior lifts as possible, you should definitely be training hard and intense. And then that also acts as like, doesn't replace cardio, but it helps burn those extra calories, so that might help you out. How much cardio is enough? That really depends on your goals, like whether you're bulking, cutting, maintaining, it just kind of depends. But I say like if you're cutting and trying to lose body fat, probably 3 to 4 sessions of like moderate cardio, like incline treadmill, Stairmaster, or something like that. Not for too long, maybe half an hour or so. All right, this is a good question. What are your long-term goals, both fitness and lifestyle-wise? So, I mean, they kind of go hand in hand. Like I definitely want to do something fitness related. I definitely want to be some sort of entrepreneur in the fitness industry and not just pursue being a fitness influencer. Like I want to do much more than that. To give you guys kind of a picture of what that might look like I definitely look up to like people like Bradley Martin, Christian Guzman, those type of people who started out these big companies and just have brands going for them and stuff like that. Have kind of like a little empire. And yeah, I mean, that's basically what I kind of want to do. So, you got a girlfriend? Yes, I do, going on 2 years. What is your favorite food to get in protein? Definitely chicken. Honestly, chicken's one of my favorite foods, which kind of works out nicely for me because that's a really key, kind of staple element in a bodybuilding diet. So definitely protein, turkey, just those lean sources of protein, and red meats, but you definitely don't want to have those more than a few times a week. So yeah, I would say those are like the best ones. Would you rather look like David Lade or C-Bum? Definitely David Lade. Don't get me wrong, I love C-Bum's physique, but I just would rather have aesthetics than be huge. How can I remove lower belly fat? So you can't really target fat. Everyone holds fat in different places of their body, and sometimes it's just in unfortunate places like your stomach or somewhere on your upper body. Luckily, I hold a lot of my fat on my legs, so when I'm bulking, I don't look like complete shit. But to get rid of belly fat, you obviously have to be in a caloric deficit and be implementing cardio as well, and that should do it. And even though you can't target fat per se, still eating in a caloric deficit and doing those types of things will make your body fat go down, so you'll lose fat in that area, of course. Top 3 supplements you recommend? Whey protein, creatine, pre-workout. That's all you really need. Oh, and honestly, I really like taking fish oils, omega-3s. I think those are also pretty important, but yeah, I would say the first three are definitely staples. Push-pull legs or upper-lower if I have 6 workouts a week. So I think upper-lower, in my personal opinion, like your upper-lower body training split is maybe more suited for beginners. So if you're kind of starting out your workout career or whatever, I would definitely say upper body, lower body split, but I definitely don't think you get enough volume in doing that split, like in hitting your muscles enough. So I definitely side with push-pull legs, especially if you're already a few months into lifting, kind of know what you're doing. Is there a point in puberty where your muscle growth just started blowing up? In my personal experience, no. It kind of happened more gradual than that, but it definitely can help with like muscle maturity and stuff like that. And obviously, like if you're a kid, you're gonna be just genetically smaller than if you pass puberty. So it definitely helps, but I don't say like bank on it. How to avoid scams, fake natties, gimmicks, and lies in the fitness industry. Yeah, that's actually a really big problem in the industry, and that's something I definitely want to change. As I kind of get bigger and more known in this industry, is how fake it is and how many fake natties there are, how many scams there are, and stuff like that. But just like as a viewer or a fan of different types of people, different companies, that kind of stuff, you just have to see like kind of what's real and what's not, and that might be hard to discern sometimes. But you kind of just have to make your own decisions and research, I guess, if you want to. But yeah, and normally you can tell who's real and who's not, especially if you've ever seen them like off camera or something like that. So yeah. All right, this is a great question. What's your favorite part about inspiring people? Definitely the feedback I get, and just knowing that I'm helping people or inspiring them to change their life or start working out and stuff like that. And I love getting DMs from you guys. It literally makes my day. And sometimes I'm a little bit behind on responding to them, but I try to get to all of you guys. And yeah, that's just such an amazing feeling. And I can't thank you guys enough for it. Serious mass or whey? So I think you mean like mass gainer. I definitely recommend staying away from mass gainers. There's just a bunch of shit in it that just isn't really good for you, and it doesn't help you actually put on muscle. Like it might help you gain weight, but that's not going to transfer to anything that's actually going to benefit you. But whey protein is definitely better for long-term kind of muscle gain. And yeah, instead of like using mass gainers, I would highly suggest doing something like high calorie shakes. So like putting fruits, vegetables, whey protein you can put in there, oats, nut butters, almond milk, that kind of stuff. What's your proudest moment? In terms of lifting, definitely hitting 225 on bench. Hit it, I don't remember when, but yeah, I was super cool moment for me, and I was with all my buddies. It was super hype. Yeah, that's definitely it. How would you like to be remembered for the people? Just someone who like inspired hopefully millions of people, and helps people also, and someone who changed lives. So yeah, it's kind of cheesy, but it's true. What supplements do you use? I made a video on this, but just off the top of my head, omega-3 fish oil, pre-workout, creatine monohydrate, whey protein, green tea extract, and there's a few other things, but those are the main ones. What drives you to do what you do? Literally just passion. Passion for like lifting and working out, and now like inspiring others, and just like I freaking love this shit, and that just keeps me going. And it's also just kind of part of my personality that like when I get into something, like I kind of go full throttle, balls to the wall, and just put everything I have into this, or to whatever I'm doing at that moment. But now I'm super passionate, super into this, and I definitely I'm trying to put in the work to make it something big for myself. So yeah. Alright, are you natty? Yes. Are you dropping out of college? I've debated it, honestly. It's kind of hard to see a bunch of these like kind of fitness influencers dropping out of college and maybe moving to LA, like the big ones at least, or just having time to create massive amounts of content. But I kind of don't want to limit myself, and I don't want to just be a fitness influencer, and I'm not really in any rush. Like obviously if I blew up tomorrow, that would be freaking insane, and I'd be so happy, but I don't think I would still decide to drop out of college. Just because I just want to keep learning and, you know, have a degree, and hopefully that will come in handy later on, especially as I, you know, become older and become like an entrepreneur in the fitness industry and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna drop out. Do you suffer from body dysmorphia? If yes, do you perceive it as something positive? I definitely do. And I think there's a fine line between it being kind of like positive and like a motivator, and it being kind of like crippling and, you know, you hating yourself every time you look in the mirror. So I think you have to, you know, somehow find a balance. How many calories are you eating a day right now? Right now I'm at the end of my bulk, so I'm kind of tapering down a little bit as I get ready to cut. I think around 3,800. What is your plan with fitness, compete, trainer, etc.? I kind of already touched upon this, but I definitely don't want to just be a trainer. I want to, you know, release a website with like workout plans and probably like coaching for you guys and stuff like that, but I don't want to be like a personal trainer per se ever. Competing possibly, but probably not. And if it wasn't something, it would probably be men's physique. What about deadlifts in your program? That's a pretty good question. For me personally, that program was solely based on hypertrophy and gaining muscle size. So I just think there's better movements to hit your hamstrings than doing deadlifts. And I think it's just, you know, too great of a risk for a reward. I do deadlift, but I think a lot of my followers are kind of new to lifting, even though that program is kind of meant for everyone and it honestly works with someone who's, you know, advanced a few years in lifting. I just know that a lot of my followers kind of just started out or are a few months in, a few years in maybe, and I just think that if you don't have proper form and stuff like that and don't really know what you're doing, it's just too great of a risk for a reward. How to increase bicep size. Hit the long head for the peak and hit the short head for width. And I made a video on that as well. Does being aesthetic help pull birds? Definitely. What's your height? I'm like 5'11" and 3/4 is pretty much 6 foot. 6 foot and a little bit with any shoes on. How to not lose muscle while in lockdown? You definitely have to eat and make sure your diet is on point and you're getting enough protein in, and you know that should help. And for bulk, should we have high reps with less weight or heavy weight less reps? I mean, heavy weight less reps is kind of more for strength training and getting stronger, and high weight or low weight with high reps is more for definition. So kind of, and then the sweet spot in the middle of kind of, you know, anywhere from 8 to 12 or 8 to 15 even is hypertrophy. So it kind of just depends on your goal, but I would probably just say in general, if you're bulking, you kind of just like want to get bigger, anywhere from like 6 to 12 is probably perfect. What are your future plans in this field, and what's the thing that motivated you to become a YouTuber? I already touched upon my future plans in the field, but what motivated me to become a YouTuber is just watching other fitness YouTubers like David Lade, Jesse James West, those kind of guys, and seeing the impact that they had on others, and you know, just the kind of videos they made just seemed really fun and like a really cool and amazing thing. So I definitely wanted to, you know, do it myself. When do you train? Morning, afternoon, evening? Either afternoon or evening, normally around anywhere from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. For how long have you been working out? I started working out when I was 17, so 3 years ago, but I really just didn't see progress until last year, because the first years of lifting, I was kind of just messing around in the gym with my buddies a few times a week, and I didn't really, you know, track progressive overload or anything, or know what I was doing in the gym. And in terms of nutrition and my diet, that was just terrible. Like, I was probably honestly not even eating at maintenance level, like maybe even under, so that's why I just didn't see any progress. Or I saw some progress, but just not that much, and I kind of missed out on those newbie gains, which is too bad, but you know, it's whatever. Tips for bulking for beginners. I made a few videos on this that you should definitely check out, but I would say caloric surplus of like 200 to 500 calories, and tracking progressive overload is really important as well, and making sure you're getting stronger and your muscles are getting that stimulus that they need to grow. And yeah, making sure that you're getting at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Is it okay to take big 3 meals a day instead of 6 small while bulking? Yeah, I mean, definitely. Like, it's really not important about the meals. It's really all about just the amount of calories you're getting in. I'm a big fan of getting more meals in per day, just because I have a really small appetite. I'm definitely a hard gainer myself, and I just can't eat that much. I get full really fast, so eating more frequently throughout the day but in smaller portions just works for me. But it really doesn't matter meal wise, it just matters how the calories that you're getting in. When should one stop bulking? That's really up to you, like whenever you feel fat or whenever you would just want to cut or something. Alright, so this guy's asking for tips on growing your delts and biceps. For biceps, definitely easy bar curls and hammer curls are the things that help me grow mine. And then for delts, lateral raises and push press. Solution for stretch marks. Okay, so a lot of people actually like stretch marks, or at least they say they do, and they say like, oh, it's a symbol of hard work and stuff like that, which is true, but I'm pretty self-conscious about them. I have them kind of in my shoulder areas on both sides and a little bit like on my inside of my bicep. And I just, put cream and moisturizer on every night, and that's helped a lot. And they'll never go away, but they can definitely fade and get better over time, so. How did you build your huge chest? I appreciate that, because I honestly think that's definitely one of my weaker points, but just flat bench press, incline press, dumbbell flies, and then cable flies low to high to build that upper chest, because building your upper chest will make your overall chest look bigger. And dips too for the lower chest. What to do when your shoulder doesn't stop hurting even after rest? Definitely try to incorporate some dynamic stretching before, so stretching that involves kind of like movement to get it warmed up, especially if you're not doing that, that probably will help. And then kind of myofascial release, which is another form of kind of stretching or putting pressure on your muscle. You can do it like with a foam pad and put it in the positions that feel uncomfortable or need to be stretched out. And if that doesn't work, definitely go see a doctor. Top 3 favorite songs at the moment. I'm not sure. I'm really just listening to EDM and hardstyle right now. How much weight did you gain from when you first started lifting? At what age did you start? So yeah, I started at 17. And at 17, I was probably like 150. Maybe even lower than that, maybe like 145 or something like that. But yeah, I was light. But one thing to take into account, I was also shorter. I mean, since I was 18, I've grown almost 4 inches. So I was like, 5'8" when I was 17, so. Does creatine actually work? I mean, it's not like magic, but it definitely helps look fuller, and it helps push out a few extra reps when you're lifting. But I mean, it's not the be all end all. It's nothing like taking steroids. So yeah, I mean, I recommend it, but it's bad skin due to high protein intake. What can I do? So definitely be washing your face like in the morning and in the evening. It's kind of too bad because a lot of skin acne stuff is genetic, so I have pretty good skin genetics, so I'm kind of lucky in that aspect. But yeah, I definitely recommend washing your face, especially after the gym, because sweating will clog up your pores and stuff like that. But alright, so those are all the questions that I screenshotted. Like I said, I got like 150, which is awesome. I didn't even know I was gonna get that many, or any at all, to be honest. But I'm sorry if I didn't get to your question. I will definitely be doing more of these, like at different milestones, and just kind of more generally, like on my Instagram stories and stuff like that. So make sure you're following me on Instagram if you're not already, and if you're from Instagram, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. Honestly, if you're anyone, if you somehow found my video through that YouTube algorithm, please subscribe. I'm trying to hit 2,000 by the end of this year, and that would mean a lot to me if you help me reach that goal. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and another video will be coming out later this week. So yeah, see you later.